are in the world. Welcome to Radio.W.O.R.K.S. Hello, Marina.
Wow, wow, Kim! Forever young. Look at you. Look at you. You are a vision. I really need to know what is that you are on. Tell us more.
Well, today I was going to talk to you about micronutrients. Micronutrients are really important for our skin, and getting a healthy amount of them is something that I really tell my clients. So I thought that it would be a lovely thing for me to share some ideas about how you can incorporate some more micronutrients into your diet, and how and why you should. So as you know, Marina, my background's all in skincare, but I take a very holistic approach to skincare. I think it's really important for people to look at their lifestyle, look at their diet, look at their just some exercise, not necessarily heavy exercise, but definitely some exercise to pump the blood around the body. And the reason that you're pumping the blood around the body is to take the nutrients around. So unless we eat the nutrients in the first place, there aren't any to take to your cells. So I wanted to share with you today about which nutrients are the key ones for your skin. Although I think it's really important to eat a balanced diet and get all of the micronutrients and macronutrients. I think in our society, we're very lucky in that we can just walk to the supermarket and find everything we need to have a balanced diet. But getting all of the macronutrients, the big kind of the proteins, the carbohydrates, and the fats that we need in our diet, that's very easy for us. But I think sometimes the micronutrients fall by the wayside. I think we don't know quite as much about those, and they seem a little bit more mysterious to us. So that's what I was going to talk to you about today. So I know that you've read my book, and I'm sure that because I know you've followed a lot of the advice in it, I'm sure you eat lots of micronutrients, Marina, don't you?
Actually, I carry that book with me everywhere I go. And there are 3 books I carry with me, and yours is one of them. It is a kind reminder that you have a choice. It is a very powerful statement that you don't need sugar, for example. You could be sweet without having any sugar. And if sugar kills you, why would you allow him to do that, or her? So, yes, I do think your book is like the balance, life-work balance Bible. And I share it with everyone. And sometimes I even open the page, the book to a certain page, and I read out. So I think you are a woman on a mission. I think your life purpose is yours, and nobody can be you. And I also think that each one of us could have a little bit of Forever Young, have a taste of it. And once you have it, you'll never look back. Over to you, Kim.
Well, my view about trying to be the best you can be and being forever young is that the thing to do is to make small changes that will make a big change to your skin, your health, to how you feel, to your youthfulness. And so I'm going to be setting a challenge shortly, as I mentioned last week. I'm going to be setting a micronutrient challenge. I have done one before quite a few years ago, but I thought that it was time for us to, for me to do it again, and to encourage a few other people to do it as well, if anyone would like to join me, then they're very welcome. So my challenge will be to introduce some lovely, bright and colourful foods into your diet, and I'm going to be doing that using juices and salads and beautiful, brightly cooked, brightly coloured foods that I'm going to be introducing into my diet, and I'm going to be talking about it on Facebook as I do it, and I might do some little films about it, but I am setting the challenge on my Facebook page, so I'm going to encourage anybody that's listening to come across and join me on my Facebook page, which is Forever Young the book. And if you come along there, I'm going to be setting the challenge. It will start on the 1st of October, and I will encourage people to, if they can, put up a little picture of themselves and say ways that they've been introducing some more micronutrients into their diet. I'm going to have a goodie bag for the prize winner, which I will give out in November. So come along to my Facebook page to find out the rules, and I'll be putting up the event page in the next few days for that. So that's one of the ways I'd like to encourage you to make a small change in your life that will make a big change to your skin. And so back to the micronutrients then. I'm sure everybody's heard of nutrients. They think of the carbohydrates, the proteins, the fats. And we all know that we're supposed to get a nice balance of those in our diet, and people have been telling us to eat 5 a day for a long time. At least they have in England. Know how many they encourage people to have in America, but I know in France, I think it's 9 a day they encourage people to have. So it's fairly arbitrary, the 5 a day, and apparently this was set because it was the maximum amount of fruits and vegetables they thought they could get the average person to add to their diet. So I don't ever stick to 5 a day. I think 5 a day is a kind of base level that if you drop below, you're probably not going to be very healthy at all. So in terms of your skin, it's really important for you to get a very good balance. If you think about what your skin does, it's the biggest organ in your body. It protects and it secretes sebum onto the surface of our skin, which stops microorganisms and microbes of all kinds, really, funguses and things like that, from going into our skin. It also prevents water loss from coming out of our skin. And if our skin isn't well nourished, then that is going to be impaired, and it won't have the same protective element to it that it's meant to have. Our skin also does a variety of other things. It secretes hormones, all kinds of things. So it's really important for that skin to have the best of the nutrition we can offer it, and to keep it nice and healthy. Now, the thing is, as an organ, it's the biggest organ we have, but actually it's on the outside of our body. And when our body's protecting itself, what it tends to do is bring all the blood supply into the middle to supply our brain and our heart and all of the bits of us, all of the organs that are keeping us alive in the short term. And so those organs are the first to get the nutrients. And if all of the nutrients are used up in those organs, then there isn't anything to travel out to the outside. The other thing to remember is that our inner health is very much reflected in our skin. We have this epithelial tissue out of our bodies, all through our digestive system, everywhere is lined with this epithelial tissue, same as, you know, the similar sort of function to our skin. And all of that together needs to be well nourished. It's not any good just nourishing our brain, our liver, our kidneys, because otherwise we won't die immediately probably, but in the long run it's not going to do us any good. We're going to end up extremely unhealthy. So what I recommend in terms of getting your micronutrients is to eat a rainbow of colours in your diet as often as possible. We all know there are some days, I'm sure, when you're travelling, sometimes there are days when you're stuck and all you can do is grab some sandwich or something. And that will happen to everybody occasionally. The clever thing our body does, though, is it stores nutrients. So if we go out tomorrow and we can't find anything decent to eat and we end up stuffing ourselves with a sandwich and some chips or something really, really junky, everything we've eaten today that's been really healthy, the nutrients our body stored will be used tomorrow. And that applies really well to minerals and fat stored vitamins, which is really good news for a couple of vitamins and the minerals I'm going to talk about. But the one that our body does not store very well is vitamin C. The wonderful thing about vitamin C is that it's very, very antioxidant, and this is why we need to be eating loads of vitamin C. And vitamin C, as you probably know, is in all kinds of fruits, especially in berries, but there's also very high amounts of it in peppers. So for anybody who is worried about eating a lot of fruit, then peppers and carrots, things like that, also have quite decent levels of vitamin C, especially the capsicum type peppers. The two vitamins that are key for the skin are vitamin A. Vitamin A comes in two kinds. Now, most people have heard of the one that comes from carrots and all kinds of red fruits like squashes and things like that. But the other kind is called retinol, and retinol is very, very key for your skin. It's a bit unfortunate for people like me that don't eat a lot of animal or don't eat any animal products in my case, but maybe don't eat a lot of meats and fishes and things like that. A lot in those foods in very high quantities, but it is also found in nuts and things. So that's the second of the really important vitamins that you need. And the other one is vitamin E. Vitamin E people might know of as the vitamin that's quite often in creams that you put on your skin. So you can imagine if it's good for the outside of your skin, it's going to be good for the inside of your skin as well. And this is another vitamin that is found in nuts and seeds and things like that. And then there are two minerals that I'd like to talk about. Obviously, all of the others are important, but the two minerals I'd like to talk about are zinc. Zinc is very important for a healing and repair of our skin, and it keeps it in very good condition. So zinc is very important. This is another one that you sometimes find in creams, especially the kind of creams you use on babies. So that's there for repair and protection. And the other one is calcium. Now, calcium, everybody knows we need calcium for our bones and our teeth. But actually what a lot of people don't realise is that calcium is very important for our skin cell turnover. So our cells in the epithelial tissue, which is the very, very surface, the epidermis tissue, which is the very surface of our skin, is in 5 layers. And the first layer is where the skin cells are growing, and then they grow out through the 5 layers until eventually they get to the top and they come away. The epidermis is a very, very thin layer, but it's the layer that's protective. And so this is where all of the powerful kind of healing is done, where all the protection is done, and it's where problems can occur. So it's where the water loss can happen. It's also where breakdown. So it's very important to protect that layer, and calcium is very important in keeping that layer healthy and keeping the skin cell turnover working. So that's the other they're the other ones that I'm going to recommend that people have. So zinc is another one also found in nuts and things, and so you can also find calcium in nuts, although people that eat fish will know that it's also in bony fish and things like that. So, but the biggest one that everybody talks about is it being in milk. I wouldn't highly recommend milk to everybody. It can be quite irritant for some people's skin. So if you suffer from eczema and things like that, then it might actually be worth not trying to get your calcium from those sources. There are other sources that will probably work better for you. So they're my 5 main nutrients, and they're the ones that I would say definitely aim for. So when you're doing your micronutrient challenge, lots and lots and lots of lovely, brightly coloured fruits and vegetables, lots of the orange ones, and lots of the nice, brightly coloured berries and things like that, plus a good, healthy amount of seeds, nuts, stuff like that. And so there's my challenge, and that's my recommendation for the vitamins and minerals to really look out for those 5. So I don't know if I answered your question there, Marina.
Absolutely, you did. So tell us, next show, next Friday, is going to bring us more exciting information. Not only information, but I like to believe that listeners are going to just action on what you said, because this is what I do all the time. Everything you say, I just go and do it because I know it works, and I can see the results myself, and I'm very, very grateful. I just wonder, what will be your key message for today for our listeners?
So my key message for today is to come over and say hello on Facebook. Everybody that comes over, you're very welcome to send me a message in the box there, and I do half-hour consultations with people to see if you'd like to join a coaching program with me. So feel free to, or please do come over to my Facebook page and like it. And you will also get a message through sometime, or check in and see when I've put up my event page. I will be inviting everybody who's liked my page to join that event, and that's the micronutrient challenge. And there will be a prize available for the winner, and I will be choosing somebody based on their story, not based on how much weight you lost or things like that, but based on your story. So if you've got something wonderful to tell me, that's great. But even if you just join and you make a nice comment, it doesn't have to be that something extraordinary happened. Just
Okay.
how you enjoyed one of the salads or something.
That's beautiful. So I have a question. I know people have to interact and engage, and some of them are very shy. One of our listeners, who is all the way in South America, is asking, could you please tell us what is the difference between weight loss and releasing the weight? Wow.
I would say that I'm weight loss. I'm I go up and down. But I think releasing the weight, I would say, is a state of mind. And with everything, to be the very best we can be, we need to be in the right state of mind and we need to get ourselves there. And for me, getting into that best state of mind, actually, it really benefits me if I've got somebody who's coaching me. So I would suggest weight loss is an up and down thing. Most of us, once we get into adulthood, tend to yo-yo. But letting go of weight is a state of mind, and if you can get into that state of mind, the actual weight loss is much easier. Would you agree with me then, Marina?
Wow, absolutely. I'm just surprised that Carmelita is her name. Thank you, Carmelita, if you're listening, still listening, and connection didn't stop at some point. Yes, I realized that chasing this goal into an outside world where you have to lose weight to impress others or look good or is not something that personally I would embrace. I don't have time for such thing. I have better things to do. But what I learned from you over the years is that embracing your truth and endorsing your own vision and creating, using the right tools and the right food and the right exercise and the right mindset to release weight is a total different proposition, which I'm very excited about it. So it's all about the feeling good factor. It's all about wellness and how much you allow yourself to benefit from wellness, because it's nothing anyone can do. You can't be helping anyone unless they help themselves. They get their hands dirty and they go inside and check what is working, what is not working, what makes them happy, what makes them sad, or what is driving their energy up and high, creating high vibrations, and what doesn't. And all these elements, there are different layers of enormous work you have to do with yourself within. And I was mentioning before, as I was talking to our action host, Caroline King, that last week we ran during our away from home broadcasting Saturday, we counted how many times people are using certain words, and the word winners were within and winning. So I created a new word, within. What do you think about that?
I think that deciding to look after yourself is a definite winning.
Thank you so much, Kim. I just love everything you know about human mind and human body, and the way you use that in your own life, and the journey you took, and you transform your race into a journey now. And I can't wait to see where you are going next. I know you recently launched your own clinic, and you are part of an amazing group of people. And after the awards, I can't wait to meet you on the red carpet. And after the awards, surely I'm going to make time and pay you a visit, just for myself, just to treat myself. I think I deserve it profoundly. And I think each one of our listeners deserves to invest in themselves and see what is that makes you click. What is that makes you excited about life? What is that really, really helps you see life from a different point of view? What are the elements that make you change for. But I'm so grateful, Kim, and I can't wait for the next show next Friday. What are going to share with you next Friday?
Well, I thought next Friday it would be a really good time to talk about beauty sleep, because we're coming into winter, and I think that we all need to get a little bit more rest in winter, and some people don't find it so easy to sleep as others. But I was going to talk about why sleep's so important for us, and how to help ourselves have a lovely night's sleep.
Yes, and because life is a seasonal phenomenon, I think the people who feel they enter the winter of their life, they surely have to get in touch with you. But not only them, I think no matter what season you are in your life, it's never too late, it's never too early. Connect with Kim and see if Forever Young is for you. Maybe it's not for everyone, takes work and determination, but think of the benefits, think of what you could have in your life, who you could be next, just embracing the Forever Young concept that Kim is so generously sharing with us every single week. From both of us, until next time, stay forever young.
Stay forever young.